The courtroom rises. Judge Vonda B. takes her seat, calm but commanding. Today's case is the Kennedys, a divorced couple fighting over money and responsibility. Mr. Kennedy explains that he shares custody of their 12-year-old daughter, Autumn, but says raising a preteen is getting expensive. Volleyball, travel, school events. He's covering most of the costs, including $130 a month for insurance. He just wants more financial help.
Judge Vonda B. Court is now in session. Judge, this is the case of the Kennedys.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Kennedy, you brought this case before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
So I'm sharing custody with our 12-year-old daughter now, and I'm just wanting a little more help with finances because as she's getting older, expenses are getting a little higher, and sports, dances, going out hanging with girls, and yeah, I just want a little more help on my end. I'm paying insurance already. And,
Okay. How much are you paying in insurance?
$130.
All right. And what is your daughter's name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Oh, what a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Autumn. Okay. So what type of expenses does she have that are increasing?
Yeah, so she's doing volleyball right now, and we're thinking that she's going to be doing that in high school as well.
Okay.
So just, athletic wear, and then...
Autumn's mother sits composed but firm. She accuses Mr. Kennedy of trying to take advantage of her new marriage. The courtroom grows tense as she reveals that her new husband is a wealthy CEO. Judge Vonda listens carefully, then zeroes in on the key point. This case isn't about her new husband. It's about her own duty to her child.
And traveling, going to places, I want to go and support her and as well as her, but I'm the one having to drive and take her if I don't want her to ride the bus because I don't feel her safe doing that.
Okay. Is this a school bus or?
Yeah, it's a school bus.
With her teammates?
With her teammates, yes.
And you don't feel that she should ride with her teammates?
If it's really far away, maybe like an hour or more, I'll
Okay.
drive her, but if it's 30 minutes or less, I'll usually let her typically go.
Okay. That's understandable. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
She's just a growing girl, and girls are expensive, as they say, so.
I mean, we are. We have a lot of stuff that we need. So, yeah. Ma'am, is there anything you want to add or subtract from what he said?
Yes, Your Honor, I do feel that he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship.
Okay. Tell me about this new relationship.
Well,
The mother continues, explaining that she receives a weekly allowance, $500, but argues it's not as much as it sounds. She says she sacrificed her own education so Mr. Kennedy could advance his career and feels that should be considered. The judge shuts that down quickly. That's not how this works, she says, reminding her that child support is about the child's needs, not past grievances.
I can't really help who I have fallen in love with. So my new husband is a fantastic provider. However, I do get an allowance, and it isn't as much as you would think coming from, well, my husband's a CEO of an energy company, so you would expect a huge allowance, but obviously he has to protect all of his hard-earned income.
What type of allowance do you receive?
About $500 a week.
$500 a week. Okay. All right.
So, which really isn't that big a deal. I mean, obviously.
That big a deal in terms of the amount of money, or you paying child support for more in child support for the child living with him and having increased expense?
Well, I don't think it's that.
Judge Vonda presses for more details. The mother hesitates but admits she doesn't know exactly how much her new husband makes. The judge doesn't waste time on speculation. Her focus stays sharp. This hearing is about mom's obligation, not the CEO's bank account.
That big a deal to Mr. Kennedy because he has a pretty healthy income himself.
But you do understand his income does not have anything to do with an increase in what you should be paying in child support, right?
Yes, I understand that, but what I
Okay.
don't think has been considered yet is the fact that I set aside furthering my education, though I wanted to pursue that so that he could go get his MIS degree and then a master's in something. So I'm not sure that it's fair. I would like to consider all the money that wasn't spent on me that should have been spent on me while we were married.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not how this works. And sir, she says she gets a $500 a week allowance from her husband, and who is a CEO of an energy company.
Mr. Kennedy calmly states that he isn't asking for support based on her new husband's wealth. He just wants help because Autumn's expenses keep growing. The judge nods in agreement, reminding the mother that she's been paying $0 in support so far. And that ends today.
Briefly, how much money does your husband make?
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's a lot?
I think so.
When you say a lot, is it like in the 200,000s, 300,000s?
Well, the car that he drives was about 200,000. So I'm thinking you'd probably have
And
to
you
make
only
more
get a
than that.
$500 a week. You know what? That's not my business. That's not the reason I'm here. I'm not going to even entertain that.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'll just move on. Sir, do you know how much money her husband makes a year?
I don't, but he's the Steve Jobs of the town of energy,
Jobs.
so to say.
So let me ask you this. Are you expecting her child support to be based on his Steve Jobs?
No,
job?
his success has nothing to do with me or my daughter or our
Okay.
daughter. And like I said, I just want a little more help because she's
Okay.
getting old.
Judge Vonda runs the numbers out loud. Using the $500 weekly allowance as income, she calculates a monthly gross of $2,000, leading to a net income of about $1,762. Based on that, the mother will now owe $266 in child support.
And, if she's happily married with whoever and how big his wallet is, that is totally up to her.
Okay, well, I'm glad that's not what you were doing because you can't do that anyway. But what we can do, ma'am, is make you pay more in child support because at this point you've been paying $0. Because from what I see, you're a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely okay. But you do understand that your child has increased expenses, correct?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay,
but
so after yes, I do see that, that means that I don't need any further response. So you understand that, right?
well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off that $500 a week allowance that you make.
Okay.
So, based on that, I have your gross at $2,000 a month. After you take out the calculations for the taxes, your net comes out to one.
But that's not all. Because Mr. Kennedy has been paying the child's health insurance, she must reimburse him $130 a month. The total jumps to $396 a month. The mother looks frustrated, and then makes a surprising claim. Mr. Kennedy spends over $400 a month on a psychic. She argues that money could be better spent.
$1,662.53, okay? That would give you a child support obligation of $266. However, you also heard him say that he pays $130, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In medical insurance for the child. You're going to have to reimburse that to him. So, in addition to the $266 a month for child support, you add the $130, your child support obligation monthly comes out to $396.
Can I say something?
Sure, but make it brief.
Okay, well, I don't know if he's still subscribing to the same psychic,
Okay.
but she charges, I think it's $412 a month.
Okay.
And-
What does this psychic have to do with these numbers?
Well, because I just feel like if he can afford the psychic, then maybe he can afford the insurance. And
Judge Vonda doesn't flinch. She tells the mother that whatever Mr. Kennedy spends his money on, psychic or not, has nothing to do with her legal responsibility. The courtroom grows quiet as the judge delivers her ruling.
I guess I feel that that is money that could have gone towards my education while we were married.
Okay, well, I've already said no to that. That has nothing to do with me. I mean, you should address that in your divorce, obviously. And whatever he pays If he, in a psychic, if he chooses to do that, that has nothing to do with your responsibility, your financial responsibility to your daughter. So if there's nothing further from either of you, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rise and walk out.
Hi guys, we've now reached the educational portion of our show. I just wanted to go over what you all just watched in the case of the Kennedy. So the parties, they were married previously, no longer together, they're divorced, right? Mom is now remarried to a CEO of an energy company.
Judge Vonda orders the mother to start paying $396 a month effective immediately. No excuses, no delays. Her voice is firm, but fair. Your daughter's needs come first, she declares, dismissing the case.
Dad is looking for her to pay an increase from zero amount of child support to something more that he is able to financially support the children. Not only can she be able to pay child support, that answer is yes, but I also want you to pay attention to the spouse in this case. So under Texas law, whenever there is a change in material or substantial circumstance, the courts are able to increase child support. So even if you were not necessarily in a court ordered to pay an amount of child support, that can be increased if there is testimony to show that you actually do have some more money. Well, in this particular case, the spouse made a lot of money. Well, unfortunately, under Texas law, a spouse's income is not calculated in terms of child support for what the other person has to pay. You only can pay child support, the person only has to pay child support based on the amount of money that they were receiving. So her child support amount was based on the allowance that she was receiving from her husband, and that's what determined her child support obligation. Do you know of anyone who's experienced a similar situation? Be sure to subscribe to our channel and make sure you comment below. You never know, their story may end up as a scenario on our show. After all, these kids aren't raised on air alone. Support.
In the educational portion, Judge Vonda breaks it down. In Texas, a parent's obligation is based on their income, not their spouse's. When circumstances change, child support can increase, even from zero. Today, Autumn's mother must start contributing her fair share.